What is up, party people? Hope you're doing legendary. It is Monday, and I'm about to pop into your inbox and into that brain of yours to talk about some of the markets and what's going on in life. You ready to crush? Fantastic. Here we go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my goodness. Hope you're doing fantastic. It is the Mike Tyson of the moving average, and we are looking at the Qs. Very interesting day today. We did mention, and I did come out with that really intriguing video, I think, back on January the 6th, saying, hey guys, if we take out this candle, we're going to get some bearishness. And we have so far, at least in the market. Now, will it continue? Time will tell. We don't have to. Tomorrow could be an extremely bullish day. But I can say this, I'll be looking to get in bearish around 375 if we retest again. I do have some bearish positions today when we gap down below the candle, buying the low of those days. And obviously, yeah, we could just double bottom from here and go higher. However, the weekly chart does indeed look weak. We have an inside candle, tons of bullish volume. This is a bull candle closing below the 10. So if we take out that low, I could expect a little bit of selling to come in, even if it's just we go down to 366. That's the worst case scenario. It's another 4 or 5 points. Maybe we make a little bit of money there. We'll find out. But the other interesting piece is last week is the first time we've closed below the 20 on the Qs since COVID. True story. So us breaking down, I still think we could have a little bit of bearish momentum here. And I do feel like I'm positioned okay in the markets to take advantage of some bearishness if we continue to get it. Here's the SPY, SPY, strong gap down. I mean, this is a gap on a weekly chart, right? So I don't know. I mean, we haven't closed on a weekly chart below this candle, but taking out the low immediately I don't think is a super strong sign. I'm going to do my absolute best to remain a little bit of a bear here for a day or two. Yes, we're at the 100, but yeah, times do look a little bit on the weaker side. And again, it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying the market has to go to zero. I would just like a 7% pullback, please. That'd be fantastic. There's so many other markets that are down right now, and the broader markets are not. I'm just super intrigued to see if we actually get a legit pullback. So here's some of the stocks that you guys requested for me for today. Burrows, ticker symbol BROS. Does it look like a ginormous Head and Shoulders? Kind of. There is a very good support level here. That support is holding up nicely. Expect a bull candle of some kind tomorrow just because we have 4 bear days in a row. But the risk reward here is good if you're buying. I totally agree. We could get a solid bull candle tomorrow. It's another color. And if we get that, great. Otherwise, if we continue to take out that support, I think Dutch Brothers is going to go a little bit lower, probably down into the mid-20s before any kind of actual bounce is concerned. Goldman Sachs. I'm interested to find out what wager I'm going to make on Goldman Sachs, but my wager is we go lower. This is a pretty damaging gap. I'm going to be trading this one and watching this one very closely as a bear signal. I mean, this is a gap on a weekly chart. We're below everything of really massive importance. I mean, we took out all kinds of stuff, and we're at an all-time high. Really intriguing gap with volume. I mean, long-term moving averages, volume, everything, you name it, it's lower. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I'll be keeping a super close eye on Goldman Sachs for something like this, a version of that. I don't even know what it's going to look like, but I'll probably be, over the next few days and weeks, peppering in some short positions, getting into some bear call spreads, snagging into a put or two, shorting some shares. I like this play on Goldman Sachs. I think we need to keep our eyes on it, and I plan on doing just that. Next on the list, we have BBIG. A lot of people are asking about this one, and BBIG, Vinco Ventures, literally no clue what it's doing or what it did, but you got a big volume spike just a few days ago. Now, I have been doing a mentorship group recently where we've been talking about volume increases, and that's a great way to spot a potential mover. I didn't get into this one. Just, I don't know, overall chart still kind of looks like death in general, but we did close above the weekly 100, so there is credence to that for sure. And the volume was just absolutely incredible. Huge volume. So even if you take a little bit of a flyer, right, it's $3.53. So the math is easy. You know, buy a few thousand shares here, place a stop right there, write it up. Now, again, I didn't do that. I can't be in everything. But for those who did, congratulations. Really pretty. Super interesting to see what happens. And it moved very nicely. So if you are currently in BBIG, you're probably locking in some profits. If you're not in it,
I assume you're going to wait for some type of pullback and a dip buying opportunity, or at least a congestion, and then a move higher if you're going to play it. AMD was pretty weak most of the day. The 100 is going to hold up AMD pretty well. I mean, it bounced off very, very nicely on June the 10th. Already closed this put sale. But if AMD starts dropping, you would expect some other stocks will probably drop as well. I can see this one at least making its way back into the 100 simple. I did not trade AMD today, although there's a few traders that did. Intraday, you had a pretty nice double top right around here, around 12 o'clock Eastern. Here's a 3-minute chart, and you did get a bull signal to short that right in this general area. So you did shorted about 133.80. Stop would have probably been 134.40. Again, didn't take that one personally. Should have. Wasn't really watching AMD tons today just because it wasn't inside day range. But yeah, AMD, I mean, that's a bull candle closing below the 10 EMA, this one and this one. So 131.43 is extremely strong support. If we gap down there below that tomorrow, I would almost have to assume that we retest it and just roll right into the 100. That could be a very, very fun trade to keep your eyes out peeled for. Next on the list, we have Shopify. Watching closely for some puts on Shopify. Hammer, very nice hammer. Closed below that hammer, retesting that hammer. Oh boy. And the weekly chart, we had a high wave candle on the 100. It looks like we're trying to break down a little bit on Shopify. This is a growth stock that really hasn't pulled back that far. Again, I don't anticipate just absolute carnage on this one, but if it happens, let it happen. I am watching this one pretty closely. I did start a starter position with some puts, and we'll see if we slowly break down. Be keeping an eye on this trend. It looks a little on the weaker side. Obviously, any kind of bull movement can come in anytime the market wants. Just keep your risk mitigated. Be smart out there. Know your risk. And overall, trend on Shopify looks a little bit on the weaker side. Same thing with Square. So ticker symbol SQ, low of the day was 128.33. I have an order to buy you heard it, 3 more shares at 126, which is right around the 200 simple on a weekly chart. I do think Square, aka Block, will eventually come back, but this is truly the easiest short of all time breaking below these levels. Absolutely just a layup. Total layup on Square. Make sure you do the back trading and do the analysis to figure out why that is, but I think that was one of the easiest shorts I've ever seen in my life, and I'm really excited about it. If you want a step-by-step, play-by-play, in-person analysis of how to play stuff like that and how to be a little bit more aggressive, make sure you pop over to reallifetrading.com for 2 reasons. Number 1, we have ourselves a free week coming up next week, January 24th and 20th. Be there. Secondly, I want you to join me in Atlanta for the Advanced Trading Retreat. If you're in Georgia, the Southeast, or anywhere in the general area, February 23rd to the 20th, I said that backwards, be in Atlanta, me, you, and a very small, exclusive, amazing group of traders are going to hang out, trade the markets live together every day, make some money, have a blast, eat some food, work out, be amazing, enrich lives, give, and just love life, live life, and trade it. Also, if you're in the Panhandle, Gulf Beach area, we're going to have a meetup on the 21st of this week on Friday with Matt DeLong. So if you want to hang out and check that out, feel free to. All right. Square doing its thing. We got a few more and I'll be done. PayPal, I am in shares, but I also do have puts to protect PayPal. It just looks a little on the weaker side. We had a huge bull candle here, closing below this hammer, retested the lows, going lower. So I snagged some puts on PayPal. I do have a significant portion of puts, and the 200 simple on the weekly is at 155.26. So it looks like we could slowly meander our way down there before we eventually bounce. The monthly is also a very small high wave bull candle. So we keep breaking lower and lower on PayPal, which is unfortunate, but it does just, it kind of seems that we want to go a little bit lower. So it's interesting. Activision. Now this is intriguing. Activision, if this deal goes through with Microsoft, and I guess it is an if, I mean, Activision should trade up to the $90 level. This is a cash offer from Microsoft to Activision. I think this sale is based on this huge bearish candle is based on people not really knowing the news and knowing exactly what's happening with Activision and Microsoft. However, check out this trade that my boy Chris McCoy made on ATVI, snagging 5 R's on that monster. Oh my goodness, that's phenomenal. But keep your eyes on Activision, because if the deal gets signed and inked, it's probably worth some risk to keep an eye on snagging some shares in here, because if the buyout is legit, I mean, again, it should be buying out for $12, $13 higher than it is now. It was a cash offer for the shares. Biggest acquisition in Microsoft's history, I believe. $67 billion, give or take, which is honestly pennies. That's like me and you spending $670. No big deal. I don't have nearly enough shares on this one to be happy, but this was analysis I posted way back when in November. Between $60 and $50, I'll consider buying 10 to 20 shares a week. And it was below those prices for about 5 weeks. So it's too bad. But anyway, Activision, congratulations. Cindy had some calls. Exceptional. Microsoft, slowly peeling lower. You'll remember that Microsoft was one of those I really focused tons of time on back on January the 6th, and we have gone a little bit lower since then. Decent multi-top pattern, neckline break, retest. It just looks a little bit weaker out there, so I'm just slowly expecting some soft bears in the next few days. Probably a small retest and some bullishness tomorrow and Wednesday, and then a little bit of a dump. Ethereum is hanging out, team. Slowly inching its way lower. You are going to get a full moon buy signal today on Ethereum, but it just needs to hold. It needs to hold the 50 EMA on a weekly. We haven't hit it in a very, very, very long time. So if we break below there, we're going to go to the 2,000 mark on Ethereum. Bitcoin, if Ethereum breaks that low, Bitcoin will go back into the 32,000 as well. So if you're buying, be patient. If you want to buy, try to buy a little bit lower. Again, be patient, accumulate over time. Don't be too aggressive. The markets are not extremely poised for strong risk on in cryptos right now. They're more poised for sideways chop, buy low, and just bore people to tears in the crypto market, forcing their hands to sell, and then it'll run. But yeah, right now, just be a little bit on the patient side. I've said that like 9 times. I think that's enough. Team, you are absolutely a legend. Thank you.
Bam, and we're done just like that. Monday analysis is over. Remember, throw your stocks in the comment section below. What am I going to review for you on Wednesday?